most part. I'm curious. I work with MC Shine. I'm curious if this the HVAC is salvageable.
Nope.
Or that's what I assume.
I'm gonna say no right now.
That's what I assume. And if not salvageable, what's a home this size going to run us to get it brand new and restored?
Where's the furnace?
I believe it's going to be downstairs.
Holy smokes, man.
Yeah, a lot happened here.
Yeah.
I believe we lost 2 lives in this one.
Oh my, no.
Yeah. An older couple with smoke inhalation.
Oh yeah, this is a doozy. I haven't seen one of these in a while.
Some elevation turned out okay, but is this what you're looking for?
That would be it. I mean,
in a situation like this, does this whole unit get replaced as well?
we're gonna have to do the furnace. What about duct cleaning? You guys doing duct cleaning or?
We don't, but we do work with Safety King quite often.
Okay, well, Safety King's gonna have to come out, and they're gonna have to do what they gotta do.
Okay.
But the furnace is toast.
Okay.
Because what happens is, you know, that smoke gets in the insulation in the furnace, and you can't get it out.
Okay.
So it's basically done.
So this looks like a complete redo. What is Safety King going to tell me? Are we going to have to rerun all new ducting?
No, I don't think we'll have to redo the duct. I think it's just going to be they're going to have to come in, sanitize it, clean it. It looks like the ductwork's in pretty good shape. Well, for what it is.
Oh shit. I don't even know where to begin with all this. This is way over my head. But I know once the fire starts and if the air is on or whatever, it's circulating through, you're just taking that full of soot and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's cleanable or not.
That's one thing Safety King's going to have to come out and determine. But it doesn't look like it. Because, you know, you'd have charged smoke, you know.
Okay.
Coming out of the vents. You'd have soot everywhere like you had upstairs. All right, well, we'll have to get your price on one.
Yep, if you could. And then the idea would be at this moment, this all needs to be replaced and this could all possibly be cleaned depending on what Safety King has to say?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, yeah, it doesn't have air conditioning, so basically I'm going to replace the return drop, the filter cabinet, and the furnace. The furnace is oversized for the house anyways. So, well, we'll get you a cost on it.
If you could, yeah, we're dealing with the insurance and everything else with phone calls back and forth, so if I could have a little more information and a little more understanding of where we're at on costs on certain things, it'll help a whole bunch. And then when the time does come, the next several weeks, if not.
Yeah, it's going to be a few months.
Yeah.
You know how insurance works.
Oh, yeah. And especially with a fire and a complete loss.
Yeah.
You need a tattoo right now? There's a little tattoo shop back there.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah. Their son lived down here, I guess.
Interesting.
Very much so. What more do you guys see?
That's basically it. What do we got behind door 2?
This is all drywalled.
Just a man cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you know, this house has got to be stripped down to the studs.
Yep, that's the plan.
I used to deal with fire stuff all the time. Years and years ago.
Yeah, from my understanding at this point, as soon as everything gets commenced and we got numbers for everything, it will get ripped right down to the studs. And a complete rebuild for the most part.
Yeah, it's not. Where do they think the fire started? Attic?
Up front, right up here, I think. Something about electrical up near the front door.
Yeah, there's a holy smokes, man. There's everything's complete black.
Yeah, it's in rough shape. Look at the cobwebs in the corner. They just collected soot and black cotton. Pretty wild, ain't it?
Someone get the guns out of the safe.
Say one more?
Someone get the guns out of the safe. They pried it open.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I think the son's in charge of trying to figure everything out because it was an older couple that had passed. And they came through and got all the important memorabilia and things of that nature out so far.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it's bad to have a fire, but I mean, I've seen a lot worse. Oh.
I thought this was unique. This is the screen of the TV. It literally just melted off.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yep. Well, we got your contact. I gotta make sure I got your contact information.
Yeah, double check. I'll see if I got a card out.
Well, that certainly sucks. That's the stuff you run into, you know, doing this trade. And fire sucks. I used to deal with, back probably 20-something years ago, I used to deal, well, the company I worked for used to deal with a lot of fire and restoration, water damage, and so on. And you get those unfortunate ones where, yeah, people do pass away. I don't know if you heard on the video that apparently there was a son and the son that lived in the basement, and apparently an elderly couple. Well, the elderly couple passed away of smoke inhalation, unfortunately. And I guess the insurance company is going to rebuild the house. Actually strip at the studs, rebuild the house, and probably either the son's going to take it over or they're going to sell it. So that wasn't, I mean, any fire is bad, but that wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst I've seen. I used to see them where they're just burnt right down to the studs, and they've rebuilt them. But this one isn't terrible. Basically all they're going to do is rip it down to studs, redo everything. I mean, it is what it is. It's a fire restoration job. But it's very unfortunate that people passed away, you know, in a fire. It's very unfortunate. So this is the stuff you see. I've seen a lot of it in my time doing what I'm doing. Like you said, the company I worked for 20 years ago used to do a lot of it, and I used to see it on a weekly basis. You know, floods, fires, and it happens. There's nothing you can do. It's just part of life. So anytime we have a fire like that, the furnace gets replaced. It's just, you know, it's for one thing, it's a liability issue. You know, you just don't know what happened. You can't determine, did something get damaged. It might look good, especially when it comes to water damage. Looks fine, but you don't know what happened internally to gas valves and so on. I don't know if water was, I don't know if it didn't look like it had water damage from the fire, because sometimes it's collateral damage to where not necessarily did the fire damage the furnace. It could have been, you know, water from fire hoses, you know. So when it comes to anything like that, you really just replace the furnace. And especially say if that furnace was on when that fire was going, all that smoke gets circulated through the house, through the insulation of the furnace, and you can't get it out of the insulation. There's no way. You just got to replace the furnace. So anytime it comes to a fire furnace or a house that has had a fire, you want to replace the furnace. It's just, that's what should be done. That furnace was oversized for the house anyways. We're going to put a properly sized furnace in there, either a 45 or 70. I got to look up some specs on the house. So that's it for this one. That was a quick view into some of the stuff I see. Not all, I haven't dealt with it in a long time. This is probably the first one I dealt with in about 4 or 5 years. I don't see a lot of it up here. We'll work for a lot of restoration companies, and it is what it is. Alright guys, that's it for this one. It's just a